olives. Hopefully we're going to have a sacrifice for the covenant of Noah, to renew the covenant of Noah, the Noahide covenant between all of mankind and the all of mankind and God. Just to fill you in, things don't always go according to plan. They had brought in a man who was trained in slaughtering non-Jew, and at the very last minute, I'm not sure why, but he canceled. And so what happened was Rav Hillel Weiss was running around. What do you do when the person who's supposed to present the sacrifice doesn't show up? So I was walking around, and there were a lot of very, very, very special people here, each one glowing special in his own way. And there was one amazing young man named Malki, not so young, amazing young man, and dresses Jewish, looks Jewish. And I happened to catch him this morning. He was in his way to the mikveh, the ritual bath, which is a Jewish thing to do. And for some reason, don't ask me, it wasn't, I don't know why. But I walked up to him and I asked him, are you Jewish? And he said, well, according to your standards, no. And so that meant that he could be the representative for all of the non-Jews in the world. Because this sacrifice can absolutely not be Jewish. We have our covenant and all of mankind has their covenant. And I asked him, do you know how to slaughter an animal? And he said, I've done it 4 years in a row. And I said, would you be willing to do this one? And he broke down in tears. And he said, I've had dreams all week that I would be doing this. And I reminded him that you can only serve God in happiness. And priests who were in mourning were not allowed to give sacrifices. So all of humanity is counting on Malki to be in joy, to bring the sacrifice for all of humanity to renew its covenant with God from the time of Noah. And hopefully that's what's going to take place if no one else, nothing else happens. And actually the knife is on the way in a taxi cab because you need a knife. And that's what we're doing. But more important is the person. The knife is not as important as the person. And also the goat is on the way here. And again, I'd like to emphasize that this is not a sin offering, and it's not a replacement for anything in any other religion. This is a covenant offering, a Thanksgiving offering, and brought in happiness. And only between non-Jews and God. And the reason why Jews cannot take part is we have a commandment that the only place we are allowed to bring sacrifices is on the Temple Mount. Non-Jews do not have the commandment, so they can bring sacrifices anywhere to God. So we have to wait until the government lets us go up to the Temple Mount. And then as soon as they let us, everything is ready for us to bring our sacrifices. So we're going to have to follow the non-Jews on this one. Should all be blessed. Hopefully it'll work out. We need your prayers to make sure it works. Thank you. Easy to start out. Very special man, Malki.
So anyway, I listened, and there were some miracles that took place. It was just my family, but it was amazing. And we got to know this lamb, and the lamb after the slaughter. I knew I had to burn everything by morning, and I knew it wasn't. Anyway, long story short, there was hardly any fire at all, and everything was burned up. It burned for 3 days and 3 nights, and even all the bones were burned up. Nothing was left, and the only thing was left was what my son wanted, was the left horn. And then I found out later it was kind of it was a priestly blessing to leave a left horn, but even the bone inside of it was gone.
This is the first time you did
This is the first time I did. I think it was 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, and it was like a preparation. It was just listening and doing, and I kept saying, I can't do this. It's an innocent animal. And he's like, but you're willing to eat the meat. And I said, yeah. I said, so you're not willing to kill it? And I said, okay. So I did. I followed through, and it's been I thought it was, okay, I'm over with this. It's like, no, next year it was again. But every year, this is what I've noticed, this is what I've seen. The spirit literally enters a lamb, and he becomes a covering. And that's what he said, it was a lamb back then. Everyone back in Passover in Egypt, his blood was covering all. He is in everything. I don't like to kill flies. The other day I was trying to take a scorpion out. He said, okay, I don't like to kill things. But he's asked me to do it, and he actually asked me to do this today. And I knew before I even came here that I was going to be doing it. I knew before I even came to Jerusalem. But I said, you're going to have to provide the lamb, you're going to have to provide everything. And it happened.
Who is he in this?
He is, I get that asked a lot. I have a tough time calling him Hashem. I tried calling him. As a matter of fact, he told me to go to the rabbi and tell him to have
I
his
like
kids.
Abba. You said Abba.
Abba, yes. And so
I like Abba.
That is a safe thing because it's true.
It is true.
It's his children. And he's a father, and he's a good father, and he knows, and he disciplines us because he loves us. I have this disease because he's disciplined me because my genetics were lawless, And now coming back home, we're getting healed. We're coming into his truth, and he's bringing us home one by one. We're lost. We were lost in the nations. I thought I was 100% Greek. Then I find out I had Cohen blood. And I was already being told it, but I thought I was crazy, and I've come to find out.
Oh, Grace Wang. I'm so glad you're seeing this, Grace. I went up to the Temple Mountain. I was looking for you. Grace, I would love it if you could explain to all of your friends exactly why this is not a bad thing, why this is not Judaism or the Jewish temple, why this is something specifically for the nations. I would really appreciate that, Grace. You understand it perfectly. There's a veterinarian who comes when we do sacrifices. The veterinarian comes to make sure that everything is according to the law for the animal. And as I said, Monkey is the sweetest man I've ever met. He's just one of these embarrassingly sweet and gentle men. So this is not brutal. This is not bloodthirsty. It's the opposite. It's a total act of love for God, and it's the love that Noah had for God when he came out of the ark for saving him. And I want to point out, I can't do selfie now. I want to point out that we came here and the sacrifice we wanted to do turned into something else. And we're overlooking Mount Moriah where Abraham bound Isaac. And it was a very similar thing where he came intending to do one sacrifice and he did another. And we came here intending to have one person sacrifice the lamb, and instead someone else did. And it's very similar to Abraham. It's really amazing this worked out this way. Yes, if Yeshua is the Lamb of God, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. And this whole crazy, of course. And I'm not going to, God forbid, say that Yeshua is not the Lamb of God. And that's not what this is about. This is about renewing the covenant with Noah. And that was not in the temple. And this is not in the temple. This is facing the temple. I cannot say that Yeshua is the truth. Grace, I like you. I love you so much too. And what you do is amazing. And we're going into, and I ask from the Christians a bit of patience, because we're really in the end of days, and things are. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Nothing like this has ever happened before. And we're going somewhere where no one ever went before. So the rules are changing. The rules used to be that Jews and Christians had to remain separate. And now we're coming together. We're coming together in sacrifices. We're coming together in Jerusalem. And that's why this is so special. I'm very happy because there are some Christians who object and some Christians who support this. And there are a lot of Jews who object to this, and not so many Jews who support this, unfortunately. And I'm hoping that more and more religious Jews will see that this is actually a completion and a continuation of the Torah, and that this is our function, is to be a nation of priests for the world. And to bring the world to serve God, not force them, not our God, not his God, not my God, but the God of Abraham. So hopefully more Jews will realize that. And yeah, I'm sure I'll get haters. I apologize.
And so I just pray that we as a people, we could be cleansed and blessed, so that he could fully come to this earth, so he could fully come through us, through his people. Since then, I've, hearing him and realizing that he was speaking through me, or speaking to me. Who's he? I call him Abba.
Amen.
Abba. Yahweh. That's his name. He's one God. Yehoshua was who brought me back to the Father. Yehoshua came here to bring only the lordship of Israel back home, but he brought me to the Father.
Oh, yes.
And I realized that my people, the evil that they did, see, unfortunately, there were two bad things that happened. One was the Jewish people weren't being the light we were supposed to be to the world. We're supposed to shine his menorah to the world. We need to know him. And we don't know him. We're coming unclean. We're coming as the bride, and we're not clean.
He is a Christian,
because
this is a sacrifice brought by the 70 nations.
Yeah, but there's